Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalay, an autonomous organization of the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, is a national museum located at Bhopal. This museum is also known as National Museum of Mankind that engaged to portray the story of mankind in time and space. The museum has been set up in 1977 by opening a nucleus office in New Delhi. The establishment was shifted to Bhopal in early 1979 on the allotment of necessary land for developing the museum. This museum is spread over 200 acres of undulating terrain at Bhopal and attracts huge visitors to see its fascinating open-air exhibitions depicting architectural diversity, indigenous knowledge systems, myths, legends, and ways to protect environment. It also has an indoor museum building, Vithi Sankul, with 12 galleries in it on various topics related to biocultural evolution and variation of humankind with special reference to India. The active participation of the communities in the design and display of cultural specimens rather than a conventional passive form of display is the hallmark of this museum. The communities are the curator of this unique museum, while the staff here are mere co-curators. Unlike in many other museums, some of the displayed specimens are accessible to the visitors. The museum has around 29,000 ethnographic specimens in its collection till October 2020. Education and outreach activities organized throughout the year in various parts of India, including Bhopal, give vitality and consciousness to the exhibition. This museum, in collaboration with the Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, a central university in Amarkantak, Madhya Pradesh, started a one-year post-graduation diploma course in museology to impart knowledge on museology with hands-on practical in situ. From the beginning itself and with its progressive journey, it has broken the myth about the museums. This is a unique museum of the country and a pioneer institute in generating a new museum movement in the world.
विविधता में एकता से भरे हमारे देश में विभिन्न तरह की संस्कृतियां अपने अनेकों रूप में बिखरी पड़ी हैं और यदि उनको समझना है उसके प्राचीनतम स्वरूप को, उसके आधुनिकतम स्वरूप को, तो आपको उसके लिए संग्रहालय जाना होगा। ऐसे ही संग्रहालय के आंदोलन में बिहार संग्रहालय एक नवीनतम उदाहरण है, जहां पर म्यूजियम बिनाले का आयोजन किया जा रहा है 22 मार्च 2021 को, जिसमें देश भर की विभिन्न तरह की सांस्कृतिक धरोहरों को दर्शाया जाएगा। बिहार, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, सीट ऑफ लर्निंग के रूप में जाना जाता है, जहां प्राचीन काल से अनेकों तरह के शिक्षा केंद्र बौद्ध विहार और जैन विहारों के रूप में बिखरे पड़े हैं। ऐसे प्रदेश में बिहार संग्रहालय जैसा एक संस्थान इस तरह का आयोजन कर रहा है और अपनी तरह का अनूठा एक संस्थान इंदिरा गांधी राष्ट्रीय मानव संग्रहालय भी इसमें बढ़ चढ़ के हिस्सा ले रहा है और अपने 29,000 संग्रह में से जो सांस्कृतिक सामग्रियों का संग्रह है, उसमें से 13 बहुमूल्य और अनूठे सामग्रियों को इस बिनाले में प्रदर्शित कर रहा है, और जिसमें नगा समुदाय के आभूषण हैं, संथाल समुदाय की पालकी है और मधुबनी की प्रसिद्ध पेंटिंग भी है। आइए देखते हैं इंदिरा गांधी राष्ट्रीय मानव संग्रहालय के द्वारा इस बिनाले के लिए विशेष रूप से रचित की गई प्रदर्शनी प्रतिबिंब, रिफ्लेक्टिंग कल्चर्स एंड रिफ्लेक्टिंग आइडियाज।
In this Museum Binale 2021 at the Bihar Museum Patna, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya has come up with a virtual exhibition under the banner Pratibimb. It is showcasing some of its finest collections. The objects in the exhibition represents the true nature of these diverse and vibrant cultures of the country. Through these objects, it tries to depict the wisdom, unique aesthetic sensibilities, creative expressions, artistic skills, and interpretation of different communities and their cultures. Rahi is a marriage palanquin. It is the remnant of age-old traditions and ancient mode of travel and transport on human shoulders. It symbolizes the economic status of the owner. This typical bridal palanquin belongs to the Santhal community. In olden days, it was used to commemorate the ceremonial departure of bride from her paternal home to the residence of the groom. The body of this Rahi is filled with elaborated carving depicting the beauty of local flora and fauna. All these are conspicuous symbols of marriage ceremony. Panchdeepa Lakshmi, popularly known as Deeparani, is a lamp portraying the imperial visit of a queen to a temple on an elephant. The queen is shown holding Panchdeepa in her hands with a gesture of Anjali, or in a stance to offer the flame of divine light. It is made through the lost wax technique by a skillful traditional Dhokra metal craftsman of West Bengal. The symmetrical composition of the lampstand, together with its decorative danglers in the form of flower birds, hooded snakes, and jingles. Ranimala is an ornament of pride, dignity, and social status of a woman among the Konyak Nagas. It literally means a necklace of the queen. Traditionally, a heavy ornament of this kind marks the hierarchical social system of the Konyak Naga tribe. The chief's wife used to wear beaded jewelry in great profusion, richly ornamented with brass dangles, jingles, bells, and seashells. The necklace comprises of old ceramic, glass beads, and 3 fin-like pendants. Dotted motifs on the pendant's surface depict their tattoo marks, while the curve-like figure represents the tusks of wild boar. This painting on canvas depicts the myths of Mashavasi Dev and Banjara Dev of the Gond community. It is the creation of world-famous tribal painter Jangarn Singh Sham, belonging to Pardhan Gond tribe. Banam is a traditional string instrument widely used by the Santhal tribe, who is largely distributed in the eastern province of India. It is available in 2 distinct forms, depending on the way it is prepared and culturally used. This instrument is played with the bow in a convenient position by setting the instrument vertically against the chest of the player. Tuning a desirable note, the bow is rubbed against the cord to produce melodious musical notes. The genesis of Banam is deeply linked with a myth of the tragic end of lonely sister of the 7 brothers. It goes as an old Santhal couple left 7 sons and a daughter. They started living in the forest after the death of their parents. The sister used to cook daily meal for the brothers. One day, while cutting vegetables, she accidentally cut her finger. The blood fell into the vegetables she cooked. Brothers found the meal delicious and were curious to know why. Knowing the reason, they planned to kill to get her flesh. The youngest brother, who denied, was also threatened to kill. The innocent girl was killed and the flesh was divided into 7 equal parts. In grief, the youngest brother cried by sitting near a pond. Creatures from the pond suggested him to dispose the flesh inside a white ant mound. Later, a galoic tree that grew out of the mound, and a saint discovered strange sound from trees as wind passed through the trees, and thus he prepared Banam from the wood of that tree. The present exhibit is a Dhodru Banam collected from the Santhal tribe of West Bengal. It is carved to represent a human body and the head being crowned with the figures of 3 female images. The magnificently carved wooden chair originated from the Naga tribe of Nagaland. It was collected in the year 2003 from an Ao Naga lady who visited Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya to exhibit her collections. She had this object in her possession from Mon district of Nagaland. This chair is carved from a single piece of wood measuring a maximum height of 169 cm. It has 4 legs to support the entire structure to stand firm and erect. The horizontal chair is proportionally built by scooping out from the same log. Carving on high relief exhibit their artistic skills of the art of wood carving. The dorsal surface of this wooden chair has beautiful carvings of animal figures: snakes, gong, dove, mithun head on high relief. Carvings on these kinds of motifs are mostly found on the morungs and chieftain's house, which symbolizes the status. The top portion of the chair is furthermore stylized with thorny-like appearance, which signifies the skulls of hornbill. Madhubani painting or Mithila painting was traditionally created by the women of various communities in Mithila region of India. The multicolored painting on canvas depicts the story of Sita Swayamvar and Kohbar. Traditionally, it is made on the walls of the kohba room of newly wed couple using multiple colors that are derived from plants. Ochre, lamp black, and red are used for reddish brown and black respectively. The central theme of these kohba paintings is love and prosperity. So through the paintings, blessings are sought for a successful marital life. This painting was made by a renowned master artist, Srimati Yashoda Devi, in the year 2004. This wooden panel significantly endorses the quality, style, and rich tradition of Chettiar art and aesthetics. It also reflects their social position as a rich trading community in the region. The panel contains two female figures in a dancing gesture representing the pristine feminine beauty. The Chettiars generally engage the Vishwakarma, who are the traditional woodcarvers for making their houses and temples. These highly skillful and experienced artisans have been traditionally practicing this living art for many years. They also occupy a special position of their mastery over the craft of making traditional idols. Kawad is a portable painted wooden shrine which has visual narratives on its multiple panels hinged together. The stories of the epic Mahabharata, Ramayana, Purans, along with the narratives from caste genealogies, heroes, and folk tales are told. It brings together elements of pilgrimage, storytelling, and identity. In the Gatha Kawad, the bold profile of Dev Narayanji is portrayed in the central portion of wooden shrine. The major incidents of his life story are painted on the collapsible door panel. The Dev Narayanji, a pastoral deity considered an avatar on incarnation of Vishnu, who had the power to cure leprosy and blindness and offers protection against all diseases. Patara is a metal-hooped large box made of teak wood. It is decorated with embossed brass plates containing animal and floral motifs, arranged in a symmetric pattern in the front facade. This decorated metal covering specifies the cultural importance of being used as a dowry chest. The box is strengthened with thick metal pieces in the form of a grid-like structure. Two handles are attached on both the sides of holding, while the lid carries heavy metal engraved locking system which is riveted with proper alignment to the body centrally. The box stands on four wheels that allow easeful movement or transport. These kind of heavy boxes were used for storage and also traditionally akin to function as a dowry chest. This prominent single membrane musical drum of the museum collection comes from the Oraon tribe of Jharkhand. It is played with two sticks to produce the required tone. This traditional instrument is used to commemorate the ceremonial conduct of Bishu Sendra or annual hunting expedition held during the month of Fagun. Nagada is also popularly used by the Oraon tribe during their Sarhul and Karma festival. It is a large-size fish trap made from bamboo splits used by Moran community of Tinsukia, Assam. The splits are arranged and tied to bamboo rings at regular intervals to form a biconical shape and to hold them in position. The middle portion of the body is bulky and it contains two valves at the center, which allows the fish to enter the trap when it is placed against the flow of water. One end is closed and the other is having a narrow opening to collect fish. Perak is a popular headgear used by the Ladakhi women. It is worn in such a fashion that the pair of sideways flaps remains visible on the forehead, while the richly decorated clothed surface of the turquoise stones and gems is allowed to hang freely on the back. The bark of the local species of Khumani tree is used as the foundation to start the stitching and laying the turquoise stones and precious gems. A pattern for the arrangement of decorative elements is followed to provide its aesthetic beauty. This skillful work of an orderly arrangement of the ornamental materials is gently carried with threads and needles. Locally woven woolen fabrics are used as ancillary materials in the production of this appealing head ornament. During the olden days, it was used as a precious head ornament by the women of royal families to show their status and identity. With the passage of time, it becomes a common item of head ornament worn by the ordinary married women and girls beyond the distinction of elite status.